Deep inside your body, there's a tiny green guardian waiting for one simple signal to start the day. But when breakfast never arrives, everything inside this world slips out of rhythm. Your gallbladder, small but mighty, begins to tremble, scanning the darkness for a cue that never comes. With every flicker of light and every shifting organ around it, panic grows. Because for this little hero, the morning signal isn't just routine, it's survival. Meet your gallbladder, an adorable, anxious little worker whose entire job depends on timing. Every morning, it wakes up holding its tiny alarm clock, ready to squeeze bile the moment you eat. But when you skip breakfast, it spins in circles, confused, its glow flickering as it searches for the signal you forgot to give. To you, it's just a skipped meal, but to your gallbladder, it's a full-body crisis. Your body runs on rhythm, and bile has its own schedule. The liver, bile ducts, and intestine move like a perfectly timed conveyor belts until breakfast goes missing. Without that first bite of the day, hormones fail to fire. The signals stall and your gallbladder stands stranded on its moving platform, watching the rhythm glitch apart. One skipped meal and the entire system loses its beat. When you skip breakfast, something quiet but dangerous begins. Bile that should stay thin and flowing starts to thicken into sticky gel. Your gallbladder swells under the pressure, its inner glow flickering as crystals slowly form around it. What feels like a harmless habit becomes a slow buildup, one that leads to sluggish digestion, discomfort, and eventually the birthplace of gallstones. It all begins in the silence of a missed morning. Imagine your gallbladder as a tiny bus driver waiting at an empty station. Every morning, it expects passengers, your breakfast, to arrive so it can send the bile bus on its way. But when no one shows up, it just stands there, watching the bus grow heavier and heavier behind it. No movement, no release, no rhythm. Skipping breakfast doesn't just delay digestion, it leaves your gallbladder stranded with the weight of the day. Skipping breakfast might feel fine until lunchtime hits like a tidal wave. Suddenly, your gallbladder is jolted awake, forced to contract with full power after hours of confusion. It squeezes too hard, too fast, unprepared for the heavy load crashing down. That sharp stabbing sensation under your ribs, that's your gallbladder yelling, "I wasn't ready!" Because sprinting without warming up always hurts, even for your organs. This chaos has a name: Bile Rhythm Disorder. When the morning signal never comes, your gallbladder loses its timing. On one side of your body, the rhythm it expects. On the other, the chaotic squeeze it's forced into. The liver keeps producing bile, but nothing lines up. Digestion slows, energy drops, inflammation rises, all because the tiny keeper of your bile never got its morning cue. The solution is simpler than you think. Your gallbladder doesn't need a feast, just a small, gentle signal. A banana, yogurt, a little oatmeal, even a slice of toast. That tiny morning meal tells it, wake up, release bile, start the rhythm. With that cue, your gallbladder brightens, stabilizes, and moves in perfect sync again. A light breakfast is all it takes to reset the entire system. But skipping breakfast every day creates long-term danger. When bile sits too long, it stops flowing and starts forming crystals, sharp, growing stones that trap and threaten your gallbladder. It shrinks back in fear as the chamber around it darkens. These stones don't appear overnight. They build slowly, silently, from a habit that feels harmless. But for your gallbladder, it's a ticking clock. When you bring back a morning routine, the entire digestive world reawakens. Organs begin glowing in sync, waves of energy flow effortlessly, and your gallbladder dances back into rhythm, squeezing with perfect timing. As everything aligns, digestion improves, energy rises, and your metabolism finally works the way it was designed. One small breakfast, and the whole body lights up again. Your gallbladder steps forward with a warm glow, grateful for every morning signal you give it. A tiny wave, a gentle bow, and a reminder: take care of your rhythm, and it will take care of you all day long. Your organs have stories, silent, unseen, but full of life. Stay with us and discover what your body has been trying to tell you. Inside your body, your gallbladder lives a dramatic life, panicking when breakfast is skipped, flaring with heroic power when food finally arrives, stomping in frustration, then flexing proudly when bile flows just right. Its world moves fast, chaotic, hilarious, and vital. And every emotion, every squeeze, every glow depends on one tiny choice you make each morning. Your gallbladder is ready. Are you?